Yeah, so I just want to make sure that in case Ernestine misses anything,
yeah,
you can always have the video. So for today, I'm not going to use your information. So I'm comfortable recording.
Okay.
Because for security purpose,
yes.
Always, if somebody steals your information, just know that I'm not part of the deal. One of the things I do is I keep my customers' information very confidential.
Okay.
I make sure nobody.
Oh, let me ask you, when we start, I'm asking is a question.
Okay, what's your question?
The question that I'm asking is based on the preserving the information for your customer. How am I going to get that? Since yes, it is your software, it means all those will still be covered under you.
Yeah, but no, basically what is going to happen is you're going to have access. We're going to make you have because the way the company we work with is called Drake. So Drake makes sure that we buy the desktop version of the software. Then they also make us buy the online version. So, but I don't want you to spend a lot of money since this is your first year.
Yeah.
I want to limit your expenses so that you spend more time on marketing.
Yes.
Because anytime you start a business, the mark of a business person is to try to limit your expenses. When you do that, it will be easy for you to break even and make a profit.
Okay.
Then after you make a profit, there's a lot more things that we can do.
Okay.
Like for this year, I just want you to just concentrate and pay your training fee. Okay. So that next year, what we'll do is you will have your own copy of Drake, which is going to be the digital version.
Okay.
Because with Drake, since we bought the software and we're working together, they're going to let you just pay only for the online version. So with the online version, you're going to have the software on. You have your own password. You log in. You prepare taxes for people. Then once you do it, we'll have access. We'll see it from our end because it's online. Then we'll submit it to the IRS.
Okay.
But the most important thing is, before the end of the year, we'll make you to apply and get what they call a PTIN number.
Okay.
The PTIN number is the number that tells the IRS that officially you are a tax preparer.
Okay.
And you are supposed to be paid to prepare taxes.
Okay.
The way America works, somebody can get angry with you. It may even be a friend who is jealous. They will report you.
Yes.
The most important thing is when they report you, all you do is you give your PTI number. That way the IRS knows that legally you are authorized to prepare taxes for pay in the United States.
Okay.
Because you'll be surprised in business, you meet all type of character.
Yes.
And I've seen that sometimes is somebody who is really nice to you, close to you, but he may get upset for a very strange reason. Because that's just how human beings always have different motivations.
Yes.
Somebody who is really nice to you, you guys are friends. Sometimes he may just be jealous that, oh, Kevin is here suffering with me now. He has started doing this to make money. He may just get upset and wants to put you down.
Yeah.
So just understand that when you deal with human beings, you have to protect yourself.
That's true.
It doesn't matter whether you guys are friends, but always be careful because sometimes your biggest problem comes from your friends.
Yes.
So the first thing we'll do before the end of the year is we'll make you apply to get the PTIN number, which stands for Preparers Tax Identification Number.
Okay.
So with that PTIN, you are authorized to do taxes.
Okay.
I will not even want you to register a business formally this year because it will cost you at least $600. I can register it for you, but it's money that I don't want you to spend yet. So that you just have your PTIN number, then you do everything under that PTIN number. Then by the end of the tax season, you yourself, you see how well you've done. Then now you can take a little bit of profit that you've made to register your business.
Okay.
I can register the business for you now, but I will be making you spend money that I don't want you to spend. Because you can conserve your resources so that any little money that you have, you put it in your marketing so that you can get customers.
Yes.
Because the way this business goes, when I look at like the money that you made for the year, if you are serious, you can make that money during tax time. If you are really an ambitious person, because if you're an ambitious person, you can even do at least 100 returns. Just imagine if you can do 100 returns next year, so 100 times, just say 150. You see, that will make you can even make half of what you make for the year. Do I look at the business? And you'll be able to also talk to people who own little businesses, because that's where you make more money. So anytime when you meet people who have businesses, that's where we will come in. You just collect the information, then we'll assist you.
Okay.
Yeah, basically the way we're just working just like a franchise, even though we're not a franchise. We support you, so you're not alone.
Okay.
Somebody, if you are working alone, somebody may tell you, oh, but you don't know what you're doing. No, but you're working with us, so that anything, we're here to support you.
Okay.
My goal is for us to start helping you build a clientele in Alabama, so that later on there are different things you can start selling to people. Because like me, I sell insurance, I sell real estate, I sell a lot of other services. So I'm trying to clone myself so that you can sell the same things I'm selling in your market.
Okay.
So that way we'll partner. Probably next year I will start traveling a little bit. I will start visiting, so that probably I may even come to your state. Because I really want to support the people that I'm bringing on board.
Okay.
Because once you succeed, you'll be surprised that your job, you may not even be working extra hours, because with this tax business pays.
Yes.
It's just that most people don't just understand. They are afraid, because if you don't know what you're doing, you make a lot of errors. But you don't have the room for errors, because we're guiding you, making sure that you don't make any errors. So
give me 1 minute. Let me get this. Let me 1 minute. All right. Sorry, I'm back.
Okay, no problem. So essentially, this is the 1040 that we're going to work on today.
Okay.
But before we go to the 1040, I'm going to share a W-2 which I prepared that we're going to use today.
Okay.
This is the W-2 we're going to use today. Okay. We're going to have a W-2. This W-2 is for a guy called Mowa Manu.
Okay.
So this is a sample W-2 for a guy called Mowa Manu. Mowa Manu is your first client that you have.
Okay.
So you're going to do taxes for Mowa Manu. So this is a sample of his W-2. Okay.
Okay.
So Mowa Manu, as you can see, his social security number is 268 11 4044.
Okay.
That's his social security number. So he brought his W-2 to you to prepare his taxes.
Okay.
Then the employer identification number for the company where he works. Mowa Manu works for Alabama Clinic.
Okay.
That's the name of the company where he works. Then 523456789 is the employer identification number of Alabama Clinic. So Mowa Manu lives at 3046 Manchester Road, Auburn, Alabama, 3648.
Okay.
Then he made $65,000 for the year.
Okay.
Then he paid $15,000 in federal tax.
Okay.
For Social Security purpose, he actually made $70,000.
He paid $7,000.
No, for Social Security purpose, he made, if you look at box 5, this is Social Security wages.
Okay.
He actually made $70,000, but they are taxing him only on $65,000. The other money, he put it in a retirement plan. So what that tells you is what some people do is they will make like 70,000, like more money. But they don't want the government to tax them on all their income. So they will hide some of their income in a retirement plan, like they can participate in a 401k. And they'll be putting some of their money in the 401k because they don't want the government to tax them on all their money. Then after age 59 and a half, they can start pulling some of the money and they'll be living on during retirement.
Okay.
So whenever you see a W-2, box 1 is not the same as box 3 and box 5. It means something has happened. The person has taken money and put in a retirement plan. Then when you look at box 13, you see retirement plan is checked, right?
Yes.
Whenever you see that these three numbers are not the same, come down here. There will be something here to show that they belong to a retirement plan. And here they put 5,000 in their retirement plan. So that's why box 1 is not the same as box 3. Then for box 4, 70%, 70,000, 6.2% of 70,000 is 4,340. We said the Social Security wages. In America, Social Security is a safety net. When somebody gets old, they pull money from their Social Security and help them to live on. So yes, every paycheck, your employer pulls 6.2% from your salary and puts in the Social Security fund. It's like a retirement fund organized by the government, which is really good because sometimes some people work and they just spend all their money. Then when they get old, what's going to happen? The government doesn't want to take care of them. So the government wants them to use their Social Security to take care of themselves when they get old. Then sometimes, if that doesn't happen, they also have Medicare. Medicare is more for like medical expenses. When you get older, they can pull money from the Medicare to help you after age 62. And Medicare is 1.45%. That's the amount they take from your salary every year, 1.45%. So 1.45% of 70,000 is $1,015. So that's how we got these numbers. Okay. So if somebody comes to you with a W-2, a guy like Mowa Manu, so you look at it, you're like, okay, if I look at box 4 and box 5, if they don't match what the computer tells me, then I know there's a problem with this W-2. Then a lot of time, if somebody comes to you with a W-2 that has been written by hand, you have to be careful. It may be fraud. Because today, rarely would you see a company that will be doing a W-2 by hand. Most W-2s will be computerized. Okay. So generally, if a W-2 is handwritten, people are always suspecting that a W-2 may not be real or authentic. So the first thing you do is to check box 4 and box 5. If most people who are not experts, they will not know the trick that this number is supposed to be 6.2% of this. Then this one is supposed to be 1.45%. If this number doesn't match, then you know that there's a problem. Then sometimes some payroll departments may make a mistake. They may not put the correct number here too. So we just need to be aware. So you sometimes I would even call and verify to make sure the W-2 is genuine. Then at the bottom, we see that Mowa Manu lives in Alabama. So this is a state. We know that from here, we're going to file a state tax return for Mowa Manu. He made 65,000 and he paid 10,000 taxes. I just made him pay a lot of taxes so that you can see that he will get a refund. Because most people, when they file their taxes, they want to get a refund. Yeah. So Mowa Manu is here. So this is his W-2 in a nutshell. So you can see his W-2. This is the W-2 we're going to use to prepare his taxes now. Okay. So we're going to go ahead now and start preparing his taxes. Okay. So we're going to assume that Mowa Manu is single just for this exercise. Okay. So we'll select his single. We have other filing statuses, but we'll choose single. Single. Then his name is
first name and middle initial.
He doesn't have a middle initial. If he had a middle initial, we'll put it. Okay. So in this case, we just put his last name.
Manu.
Look at me. Okay. No, Manu. No, this one is okay. I'll go back now and his social is 268 11 4044. 268 11 4044. So that is social. So Mama Man is single, he's not married. If you were married, the wife's information will go in here.
Okay.
So he's not married. So next we'll put his address. 3046
Manchester.
Okay. Manchester Road. Okay. Then if you were living in an apartment, we'll put the apartment number.
Apartment number.
But he doesn't have an apartment number. It's always good to check because sometimes some people want their refund to be mailed to them. So you have to make sure that their address is correct. If there's an apartment number, we need to put it. Otherwise, the money may be sent back to the IRS, and that will become a problem.
Yeah.
So he lives in Auburn, Alabama. Then his zip code is 36848. If you were living abroad, then you put the foreign country where he's living. Okay. Then after that, the next thing we do is
a question right there. So let's say Americans who are, let's say in Cameroon now, let me just take that for example. In Cameroon, at this time or at the time of filing, if
they're in Cameroon, then they'll go with a foreign country name.
Okay.
If they're in Cameroon, they'll file the taxes, then they'll go with the foreign country name and foreign country province and zip code.
Okay. Yeah.
Just remember, no matter where they are, we can file their taxes. Just know that any kind of taxes somebody brings, don't say, oh, we cannot do it. We can do it all.
Okay.
Whatever you cannot manage, just take all the information, then you call us and we'll guide you to take care of it.
Okay.
So when you do your marketing, don't tell young people, oh, I cannot do this. Just say, no, we can do it. We can help you do it. Then the next thing now is the presidential election campaign. I always say yes.
Yeah.
When you say yes, it doesn't mean the $3 will be taken from your refund.
It's coming from, I see.
It's coming from the taxes that you paid. They're just telling you that out of the taxes you paid the government, like Mowa Manu has paid the government $15,000 for federal tax. So they will take $3 from that. If he is going to pay tax to the government, they will take $3 from the taxes that he pays the government and put in this fund. Even if you say no, they will not put it. You can say yes or you can say no. Then at the bottom, there's a new thing now. At any time during 2021, did you receive, sell, or exchange, otherwise dispose of any financial interest in any virtual currency? Some people don't invest in virtual currency. If they do, you say yes. So we do taxes. Even people who own cryptocurrency, we help them do their taxes.
Okay.
Because those ones have to do with what we call capital gains. So we handle all of that. Because the software is very, very sophisticated. It handles all kinds of complicated cases. Even though we're going to focus more on 1040, when somebody has taxes for any kind of event, we can still handle it. So which is why you have to be open with your marketing. Don't say, oh, I cannot do that. Yes.
I have another question. This period I bought, there was a car that I bought. But I think I bought it was like 1,000, I think like 1,800. But I later on, because I realized I came to realize that the car had some issues. So I sold that car back at about 1,700. So in this case, am I going to report all that?
No.
Okay. Okay. I just wanted to know about it.
No, that's okay. No, you don't have to.
Okay.
So here we'll say no. If the person had cryptocurrency, you say yes. Then another question here, we have to start dealing with standard deduction. You know that there's either standard deduction or itemized deduction. Standard deduction is a standard amount that the government would make you subtract from your income before they start taxing you. If you look at this table right here, there's standard deduction for different filing statuses. Somebody who is single, the standard deduction is 12,550. If you are married, filing jointly is 25,100. If you're a head of household, your standard deduction is 18,800. Okay? But if you decide that you don't want to take this standard amount, you have more expenses, the way I think your wife did and you did on your tax, then you can do what they call itemized deduction.
Okay.
So it's either or. You can take the standard amount or you can take the itemized deduction. Okay,
what is the advantage in this case? Someone who has to use the standard
because what usually is whichever one is higher. If you have a lot of expenses, you will say instead of taking the standard amount, which is low, you want to take a higher amount, which is what happened to you guys.
Because you guys, so my question is, someone who is taking the standard deduction, do you have to have a proof or something like that?
No, you don't have to have a proof. The government is just telling you that if you are single, your standard deduction is the 12,550.
Okay.
You don't need any proof. But if you want to itemize, you can come up with a list of things. That's when they will say, have your proof, because if they audit you, they want to see proof of all the itemized deductions.
Okay, I see.
Because you have to subtract this standard deduction from your income.
From your gross income.
So the higher the amount that you subtract from your income, the less taxes you pay. Then consequently, the higher the amount of refund you get. That's how the whole thing works.
Okay, that is starting to make sense now.
You see now that by the time we go through this form, you have a clearer idea. Then each time you pick up your return now, it will make more sense.
It's making sense.
I really want a situation where when you hold your own tax return, it begins to make more sense. You're not going to be intimidated. The form will start making a lot more sense. Then, can someone claim you as a dependent? If the answer is yes, this will reduce the amount you get for standard deduction. Can someone claim you as a dependent? If you click yes, it will reduce the amount you get as standard deduction. Then if you are filing with a spouse, say for example, Mowa Manu is married and is filing with, if his spouse is a dependent of somebody, say for example, you just got married to a lady in 2021. At the beginning of the year, she was living with her father. Her father was taking care of her. Then you got married to her in December. Then on December 31st, she moved in with you. I had a situation where a guy who is a tax preparer was fighting with a new wife's father and said, you cannot claim my wife. The father said, no, your wife lived with me for over 11 months and I took care of her, so she's my dependent. So the two of them started forcing, the guy and his father-in-law. They started forcing, and he was telling the father-in-law that, no, she's my wife, you cannot claim her. The father-in-law said, but you are a tax expert, you should know better. And she lived with me for over 11 months, and I took care of all her expenses. So she's my dependent. So they went back and forth arguing, and the father was like, but you are a CPA, a tax professional, you should know better.
Yeah.
But that just shows you how when people are greedy. So when if your wife is somebody's dependent, say Ernestine is somebody's dependent, then it will reduce the amount that you get for standard deduction.
Okay.
Then, if your wife is filing her own return and you guys are filing married filing separately, and she itemizes, or she's a dual status citizen, or that's your wife. Hello.
Okay.
Good morning, madam.
Madam, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing well.
Yeah, we are already started with Calvin. I know he said you went out, right?
Yes, I'm trying to join.
No, I didn't. The meeting has already started. Oh, you are still outside? Okay, no problem. If you cannot join, we're taping the meeting, so we'll share it. He will give you the video.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, that's Madam.
Okay.
I just told her that we're taping this meeting, so when we're done, I will send it to you. Then you share it with her.
Okay.
So that she will not miss anything. I don't want to put her under any pressure.
Okay. Thank you.
So I don't want to put on any pressure. She'll get a copy of this video and she can watch it over and over.
Yeah.
Then you'll be able to explain some things that she doesn't get, and I can explain too.
Okay.
Then another issue is if your spouse itemizes on a separate return, or you were a dual citizen, that would also reduce the amount of your standard deduction. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Then sometimes if you are older or you are blind, that may increase the amount of your standard deduction. So these are all concepts that are in the book, the 1040 booklet that I asked you guys to read.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, most of those concepts are explained in there. I'm just going through the forms.
Yeah.
Because usually the software assumes that you've read the book and you're familiar with a lot of stuff. So the concepts are there. So if you are blind, take for example, if you were born before January 2, 1957, then your standard deduction will be increased. If you are legally blind, your standard deduction also will increase. The same obtains for your spouse if you are married filing jointly.
Okay.
When your standard deduction increases, it means you pay less taxes. Dependents.
So what about someone who is filing, then the person is claiming someone? What how does that apply to their standard deduction?
Okay, if they're claiming someone, say head of household, or say they are married filing jointly, their standard deduction will be higher. Like if they are married, say for example, Calvin and Ernestine are filing together, and they are claiming someone. Instead of taking 12,550 for standard deduction, they will take 25,100.
Wow.
You see that? They will take 25,100. If Calvin is single, but he's claiming someone, then his standard deduction will be 18,800. So it will be higher.
Okay.
That's what will happen.
Okay.
So those are good questions. That tell me you are following. Okay. Yeah, that's much of what is in this stuff, because it's something that, like I say, if you really take it seriously, your job will start missing you.
Yeah.
Because you can get customers all over the country. You don't even have to limit yourself just to Alabama. Anybody that you know, once you start doing your marketing, you're contacting people that Ernestine knows, people that your brothers know, they refer to you. Before you know it, you have a very good number.
Yeah.
So it's a numbers game. And because during tax time, everybody is busy filing.
Yeah.
And what I would recommend is whenever you're taking your vacation, you can take it during tax time, so that if you have, say, 2 weeks to just focus on the tax business. If you take a vacation from January to April during that period, February is always the best time because that's the busiest time of the season. If you take a vacation in February, you see that you'll be able to maximize what you make, because around that time, all what you'll be doing is tax. But by then, everybody is busy. So February, from the 1st to the 14th of February, that's always the busiest time of the tax season. So around that time, every tax preparer is busy. Whenever you miss that February rush, you will not make money again. Okay, so now we'll go to the second section of the form. Now we'll have to start going with income. So Manu has a W-2. From the W-2, even though he made 70,000, they are taxing him on 65,000. Okay, they are taxing him on 65,000. You see that?
Okay, so line 1 is wages, and it corresponds with this
box 1 of the W-2.
Okay,
you see that?
Yeah.
He made 70,000, but for wages, they're going to tax him only on 65,000. 5,000 has been put in a retirement plan. So his income is 65,000. So he doesn't have any other source of income. So most other people that you're going to see, they may have other sources of income like tax exempt interest, then taxable interest. Anything in this category is not taxed. If you have interest from the bank, say Manu had maybe he made $15 interest from the bank, we'll put that in. Then say probably ordinary dividends. It's like he has money in a mutual fund and they paid him dividends of $25. He can put that in. You see that?
Okay.
So if, for example, Manu had money in a retirement program, say, for example, he had money in his 401k, then he decides to withdraw 5,000, but he paid taxes on 1,000. How much then they're going to tax him on 4,000. You see that? So if Manu had money in a retirement plan, say it's $5,000 that he withdrew, then they're going to tax him on what is left, which is 4,000. So we have to report it on this line.
Okay, now he has 5,000.
No, he withdrew 5,000 from his retirement plan. He's been putting money in his retirement plan. Just
okay, we don't know the amount, but he just withdrew 5,000.
Yeah, he's been putting money in his retirement. Maybe like every year he puts in like 5,000. But this year, in 2021, he decided to pull 5,000 from his retirement account. But he paid taxes of 1,000 on it. So they are taxing him only on 4,000.
On that 5,000, he was charged.
He was made to pay taxes
1,000. Okay.
1,000. So basically,
you subtract that from the 5,000 and it will be 4,000.
Yes. And in a situation like that, they will give you a 1099-R. From 1099-R, you're going to see it. If he has money from a retirement plan, they'll give him from 1099-R. Similarly, if, for example, he withdrew 10,000 from his pension, but he had paid taxes on the rest, so they're going to tax him only on 8,000. Okay, so those are things that you're going to see people will bring to you. So don't be like, what's that? Then, for example, he must have taken some money from Social Security. Okay, let's imagine that if you were older, because like what you have here, I did not put his age, but just imagine that he's older. He was born before 1957. Okay, and he's taking some money from Social Security. Maybe for the whole year, he got like
maybe 12,000.
Let's say he got like 6,000. He got like 6,000 from his Social Security. Then depending on this income here, that's what will tell us the amount they're going to use to tax him out of this 6,000. So for now, I'll leave this out because what will happen is, how do we know how much you're going to tax him on? We have to calculate it. And we will have a situation where we'll calculate how much of the Social Security will be taxed. Because when you're making income, If you receive normally Social Security is not taxed. But if you are still working, then the government will tax your Social Security.
Okay.
So you have to get that point clear.
So now, once you reach the Social Security age, withdrawal age, when you're withdrawing, they don't tax you anymore.
No. But if you are working, if you are still working, when you drawing this Social Security, then they're going to tax you.
Okay. Okay.
Yep, that's how the whole thing works. Okay. Then you also have capital gains. Capital gains is money that you make from your assets. Say, for example, you sell stocks, you sell a house, then they have to make you pay capital gains, which means you've made gains on your capital. If you lose, you write off at least 3,000. There's a form called Schedule D. You see it here? Schedule D is the form that you use to calculate capital gains. So we'll get a scenario where you see how that is handled.
Okay.
Then other income. You can have other income which will be reported on Schedule 1. And if you remember, you guys had a similar form. I remember you had a Schedule 1. So I want you to see what the form looks like.
Okay.
IRS
Schedule 1.
Yeah, this is what the IRS Schedule 1 looks like. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what the form looks like. Even on your taxes, I think you have it. So if somebody has income from this Schedule 1, we'll put it here. Like say they had unemployment, gambling income, it will come here, then it will transfer to 1040. When next week we're going to start using the tax software, so you see that it will bring all this stuff to you automatically, so you don't need to do it manually. But you need to know where it came from.
Okay.
Because if it came from this form, don't be like, huh? Which I come out to? No, you have to be comfortable where it came from.
Yeah.
So this is Schedule 1. So they have other schedules too. Then they'll ask you to add everything from.
Line 1, 2B, 3B.
So we'll leave this. If there are any adjustment from Schedule 1, you bring it here. Then subtract line 10
from line 9.
Okay. So after this, first of all, we have to go to line 9. You see line 9? You add everything, and you put a total here. So let's add. I'll let you use your calculator and add it.
Okay.
65,000 plus $15 and everything. So let's see. So while you are adding, I'll be adding too to make sure it's correct.
Okay.
65,000
65
plus 15 plus 25 plus 4,000 plus no. What did I do? Yeah, 60.
I have 7704.
Okay, let me try it again. I think my calculator acted up. Okay, let's say 65,000 plus.
Because if you move,
I'm trying to clear my calculator. My calculator is acting up.
So if you add 8 to 65, it will give you 73. 73. Then 73 plus 4 is 77. Then 25 plus 15, it gives you 40. So
Okay.
it's 77,040, 77,040 and 40.
Okay, 77 and 40. Okay, that's good.
Mhm.
Okay, so you see why I say when you're doing it by hand, it takes time. But when you're doing it on the computer, it's faster.
Yeah, it sums it for you. So okay, then we subtract 9 from 10 to get 11.
Yep, you're correct. Yeah, I just did it. You are correct. So that's how you get. You see how? So it's just so you add everything up. That's how you get a total amount. Okay. Then we'll come to line 10.
Next thing, I don't know. Hold on. I know the idea. I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay. Yeah. So adjustment to income from Schedule 1, line 26. So what we'll do is
you subtract 9.
That one is 0 because we don't have anything there. So it's 0.
So 11 will be 77,040.
Exactly. You got it. I'm happy. You will be. I can see your engineering background. You're comfortable with figures. Okay.
Yeah.
So you see that. So that's how we get the adjusted gross income.
Bro, just give me 1 minute. Let
Okay.
me answer this call, please. I'm so sorry. Hello. Hey. Good morning. How far now? No, we did fine for too. No, fine. You didn't work. No, I did for some class right now. I will call you.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Look, now family business, because when I finish,
okay, no problem.
I get for call now for that side. We'll get for join for this, okay?
Okay.
All right.
If you call me at the sleep, I'll call you back when I wake up.
All right. Okay. All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks. Bye.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my niece.
Oh, where is she?
She's there in close to somewhere in Texas, but it's close to Mexico.
Close to Mexico.
Yes. My elder sister's daughter.
Okay.
All of them, they are there. So
Yeah,
the person that Dr. Bisongs follows. Yeah, that's the daughter.
Okay. So you see, basically, it's a small network that before you know it, all those people are people who can bring you people. Because you just need to go through your phone. Everybody that you know, you send them a text to remind them.
Yes.
Before you know it, they start calling. As you can see, for somebody like you who is good with figures, don't you see how the stuff is coming naturally to you?
Oh, yeah. I am a science student, so
that's what I'm saying. So you can see that with stuff like this, it will come naturally to you. So once you do a little reading, you realize that you have the capability to master it, because with your science background, it's a big plus. Then we got line 11. Now come to line 12. What's the standard deduction? Remember, the standard deduction is 12,550.
So we just go with the standard deduction. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the standard deduction right there. So he doesn't. If he had charitable contributions like you guys have, let's
just say he contributed to his church. What about that?
Okay. Let's just say he contributed 3,000
to his church.
Okay.
So he says add 12A and 12B. So
that's 15,000.
That should be 18. No, it should be 15.
15,550.
Yeah, 15,550. Yeah.
15,550. Yep. Then if he had a business, this will come from somebody who owns a business. The qualified business income deduction. If you have a business, then they will give you some further deduction. But more man, he doesn't have a business. So for now, we'll just put 0. But if he had a business, it would have helped him.
Okay.
So add lines 12C and 13.
So
it's the
still
same thing.
15,550. Taxable income. Subtract line 14 from line 11. So line 14 from line 11.
So this is subtract 15,550 from 77,040. That's basically what they are telling you.
Yeah. So minus 77040 minus 15,550. 61,490.
Yep. You're following. So that's it. You see how we're going? So with this stuff is you just go through line by line. Most people, if you can follow logic, like I always tell people I train, I said, if it's like science, you go line by step. You have to go through that logical thinking. You see now you go now 61,490. So we got this number. So we'll go to the second page. When we go to the second page, it's going to ask us.
It says tax.
What is the tax? So we have to go now to the tax table to get this number, because it's like now the amount that, even though he made $77,040, they're going to tax him only on 61,490.
Okay, so it's a tax bracket for.
So what we have to do now is we have to go now to the tax table.
Okay.
So let's remember the amount. The amount that they're going to tax him on
is
61,490. Okay. Then if we're using the computer will just give us a number automatically.
Okay.
But we have to go now to the tax booklet.
Okay.
You see the way the IRS does it. We have to go to the tax booklet and get this information.
Okay.
There are two tax tables. This one, we have to look at the first one. Okay, this one is for income credit. So this is not the one we want. So this table is for income credit. So you see what the table is for? Income credit. So we don't need this one. So we'll keep going. We'll look for the tax table itself. This is the tax table. You see that? 2021 tax table.
Okay.
The first table we saw is for if people want to calculate how much they get for income credit, they go to that table.
Okay.
But for the tax itself, 61,490. So keep going. 2,000. Keep going. Oh, you see? So we have to keep going because, okay, 56. So we'll keep going. 63. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's say so 61. So it will be around here, 61,490. 61.
That's
so it will be between here. 61,450.
450, 61,
61,450 and 61,500. That's where it's going to be. So because he's single, this column is for somebody who is single. If you were married, it will be this one. If you were, so we'll go with 9,273. You see it here because he's single. 9,273. 9,273. If you look at
9,273.
If you look at the first amount is for somebody who is single. Then after that, for somebody who is married filing jointly, married filing separately, head or household. You see that? So the first column, 9,273 is for someone who is single like Moa Manu. Okay. So we'll come back here now. So you see, there's no magic. We just went to the tax table to get that information.
You put 9,273.
9,273. You see that?
Yeah.
So that's how you get it started. Once you get this, everything now start moving. You see how you just go to that table. But starting next week, we don't need to go to that table. The computer will put it for us.
We'll do that for us. Okay.
Yeah. So when the computer does it for you, don't be like, huh? Where does it come from? That's why it's good to know the manual stuff we're doing now.
Manually first.
We'll do it manually because
Schedule 2, line
when the computer calculates it for you, it will make sense. You'll be like, okay, you know where it came from. Okay. Then add amount from schedule 2, line 3. We don't have schedule 2. But if you just go to Google, you'll be able to see what schedule 2 looks like. And this is what schedule 2 looks like, additional taxes. For example, if you have a business and you're self-employed, you're going to pay self-employment taxes. You see this? You're going to pay self-employment taxes.
That's what I wanted to ask you too. For someone who is self-employed, is there a guide that they use in order to reserve the amount that they are going to pay for?
Yeah, that's a very intelligent question. We call that estimated tax payment. If the person comes to us, we can estimate, if we know how much they're going to make by the end of the year, we can estimate what they're going to owe. We can pretty much estimate. So we can do an estimate. They call that estimated tax payment. So next week, the first thing we're going to do when we start working is we're going to download the Drake software. Then from the software, you see how you can do all of that. If somebody is going to make, say, more money, you estimate that the first year he makes 65,000, maybe next year he's going to make 80,000. Then based on that, if he's going to make the money, but from self-employment, we can estimate and tell him how much he should be paying every quarter. So he'll pay the money for 4 quarters.
Okay.
So if you think you're going to owe taxes, we can estimate how much you're going to owe. Then you start paying it in advance to the IRS and the state of Alabama. So when we do that, then you can carry down and you start paying.
Okay.
Yep. So that's a good question you're asking. So self-employment tax. Household employment tax. So you hire somebody to work in your house. So there are different taxes that you can be required to pay in addition.
So this is just like a list of
additional taxes that may be due based on your tax situation. If you're going to pay any additional taxes, then you fill out this schedule 2, then they transfer the results from 1040. From 1040 is like a summary sheet. Everything is done on the other schedules, then they transfer the result from 1040.
Okay.
So from 1040 is like a summary sheet. So we don't have anything coming from schedule 2. So we'll put 0. So you add line 16 and line 17. You see how logical everything is?
99273.
So you can really see that with the tax stuff, if you are a science student, it makes more sense.
So non-refundable child tax credit or credit for other dependents.
Okay, so for example, if the person has children, we may have to calculate automatically. If he has children, we may have to calculate money that he can get for non-refundable child tax credit or credit for other dependents. You complete schedule 8812, then you bring the result here. So everything is calculated from 8812. What you do is you go to Google, you just type from IRS from 8812, You see what the form looks like. You bring the results here. In this case, we'll put 0.
Okay.
Amount from Schedule 3, line 8. You see, there are different schedules. If there's anything from Schedule 3, you go to Schedule 3, you calculate it, and you bring it here. With the software, it makes life easy for you. Once you just put in what the form is, the software will know where to put it on the tax form for you. So the software makes life easy.
Okay.
But if you are somebody who doesn't know what he's doing, the simplicity is deceitful. Because if you are with a customer and you cannot pinpoint where the number came from, it will look at you like a fool. You don't know what you're doing. Which is why, even when we do these taxes, it's always yeah. So you add 19 and 20 is 0, right?
Yeah.
Add lines 19 and 20 is 0. So you put okay. You put 0. Then subtract line 21 from line 18.
Okay, it's still 9278.
Thank you. If you were not, then you put the correct thing. Okay. Other taxes, including self-employment tax. If you have other taxes, that will come in here. No,
0.
look at me.
0.
Add lines 22 and 23. So you see, your tax is the same. If you had the other stuff, then your taxes would have increased. In this case, you are fine. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the tax that Mowa Manu is supposed to pay for federal. Okay. The amount is 9,273. So line 25. How much was withheld from his W-2? You saw that is how much? 15,000, right?
Yeah, 15,000.
Exactly. Okay.
Okay, so we need to subtract.
So now you get it. But before we subtract, let's go step by step. Line 25B, if he has a 1099 form and he paid taxes on that 1099, then it will appear on line 25B. So we don't have that. So we'll put 0.
Okay.
So when you add line 25A through C,
it's 15,000.
Thank you. Here is 0. Then when you add everything is, so you see the way everything is logical? Yeah, so because usually when you're in tax class, you do very, very well if you have a logical way of thinking. Because they require you to think logically. And most of the time, if you don't think logically, you cannot do well in tax class. And which is why, like science people, you have an advantage because you are trained to think in a certain way. Yeah, a lot of my people in arts, I'm an exception. Most of my people in the arts, they get lost. Then, line 26. Remember, you were asking me about estimated tax payments before, right? If say Mowa Manu had paid any money for estimated tax payment, the amount will come in here. So let's just assume that Mowa Manu had paid $1,000 for estimated tax payment. It will come in here. Okay?
Okay.
Let's just assume that he had paid $1,000 in advance. He was paying $250 every quarter. $250 every quarter. You have 4 quarters in a year. So he paid $250 by himself because he did not want to owe. He wanted to have a surplus. Some people may even just want to have a big refund. So he was doing this in advance. Okay. Then an income credit. If Mawamanu has children and he doesn't make a lot of money, then he may be able to benefit from an income credit. In fact, an income credit is something we're going to do a whole lot from next week, because a lot of people who will be coming to you, they want to get money from an income credit, especially if they make less than 20,000. If they make between, say, 10 and 15,000, they get a maximum for an income credit. An income credit is money that the government gives to you because you went to work and you are taking care of your child. So they want you to stay and work and take care of your child. So they give you money for an income credit. But Mawamanu doesn't have any children. So that's nothing. Okay?
Okay.
So here it will just be 0. Okay? Then non-taxable combat pay election. If Mawamanu were in the army, he will have something from here. Okay?
Okay.
Then prior year and income is 0. Refundable child tax credit or additional tax. If they were giving him money because he has children and other stuff, it will appear here. Recovery rebate. American opportunity, like he went to school. You see this?
Mm-hmm.
All these ones are going to help. Like somebody who went to school, they make them complete from 8863. They will come to you with a form showing that they went to school. Then you use that form to get them educational credit.
Yeah, like my nephew that I take care of, like on my taxes, Bisong Divine. He is in school, so
if he's in school, he files his own taxes, right?
Yeah, he files his own taxes, but I claim him as head. He's under my tax.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because I support him. So.
Okay. Okay. So if he goes to school, there's that form. There's a form 1098T, T for tuition. It will show how much he paid for tuition and how much he can write off. Then he will use that form to write off a lot of stuff. Okay. Then, if there's any other stuff he's supposed to get, you add all of that from line 28 down to line 31. Then your total payment will come here. 15,000 plus 1,000, that's 16.
16.
Okay. So most people who come to you to do taxes is because they want to get all these benefits. American opportunity credit, recovery rebate, they want to get all that money. Okay, income credit, child tax credit. This one is just free money people get from the government. So a lot of people will come to you because they want to get this money. So don't forget that.
Okay.
Okay. So now, the total amount that he paid is 16,000. Okay.
Okay.
To the government. Okay. Then, line 34. Line 34 and 9,273. So we subtract 16,000 minus 9,273.
You have 6,727.
Exactly, you got it, man. You're gonna do well. I can tell you that.
Yeah. So.
Yep. So that's gonna be his refund. So at least clap for yourself. That's the magic of tax reform.
Okay. So now the question that I have here on like from 28 to 31. How am I going to know exactly
okay,
if that client has to benefit, you know.
Okay, let's start with 28.
Mm-hmm.
If the client comes to you and they have a child,
okay,
you look at the age of the child.
Okay.
Most of the time, if the child is under age 17
Mm-hmm.
and mostly younger than 16, they will tend to get a lot of benefits.
Okay.
If they are under age 17 and they are like 16 years or less, they may be able to benefit from child tax credit. So if somebody has a child and they have the age of, look at the age of the child, you see?
Okay. Okay, let's say the child is maybe 10
years old.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on the age of the child, the person will be able to get additional money. So
the software will just add
the
up.
software will use this form from 8812.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have the age of the child, you put it in the software, it will calculate. It will go and calculate from 8812 and bring the result here.
Bring the result there. Okay.
So you don't have to be like, huh, where did this come from?
Yeah, where did it? Okay.
You go to from 8812.
Because that's my doubt, you know. That's because I'm saying, okay, how am I going to figure out what goes, what amount, if it is in terms of percentage, okay, I can calculate that, but how do I really know where this, this amount has to apply on this particular client, So that's why I was asked. That's the reason why I was asking this question.
Yeah, so that will come from 8812. Once you put in the age of the child, because usually with the way the tax software works, when you start, there's a worksheet that it will use to collect all the information about the taxpayer. The worksheet just looks like the top of Form 1040. What's the name of the person? What's their date of birth? What is their address? What's their filing status? Do they have children? When you enter all that information on the worksheet, then it will use it now to calculate on the forms.
Okay.
So the magic is you need to know where the information came from. Like what we're doing today is for you to know that there are linkages. From 1040 is like the main summary form.
Yes.
So other stuff comes from other forms, then they are brought to this form. That's what you need to understand.
Okay.
Anytime when you see information on a line, say like line 28, you go to from 8812, you see the way the calculation was done.
Okay.
So then like on line 29, education credit. If there's anything on line 29, you go to from 8863, you see the way the calculation was done.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. I think that it is understood.
Yes. Then the recovery rebate. A lot of people benefited from it. They will tell you, how much did you get? If you did not get enough what you're supposed to get, then they will give you extra money. So the software has a place where it will ask you, how much did your client get for recovery rebate? If you put 0, then they will say, okay, he did not get it in advance, so we'll have to give it to him now. It will calculate it and put it on line 30. Okay. Because once the software asks you questions, you put it in, it will just do the calculation for you automatically.
Okay.
But the better approach is what we're doing now, so that when the software calculates it for you, you need to understand where the calculation came from and how it's done.
Yes.
So that in case there's a mistake, you'll be able to figure out the mistake very quickly.
Yes.
But somebody who is not knowledgeable, they will not know where the stuff came from.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's understood.
Yes.
Okay.
So then some people will tell you that, oh, Kevin, where do you want your money to go? You're getting $6,727. So put it in my checking account, put it in my savings account, okay? The most common account most people have is checking. You come in here, you put the routing transfer number of the bank. I always insist that they give me a real check. If I don't get a real check, I'll tell them, if your money goes to the wrong place, don't blame me. I will get the routing transfer number, then I get the account number and put it below here.
Okay.
Then this one will tell the IRS where they have to deposit the customer's money.
Okay.
So if they are not paying you upfront, because we have an option where the people can pay upfront for their taxes, or we can ask the IRS to pull the money from their check. If somebody owed last year, chances are you may not get paid if you don't collect your money upfront. And so the first thing you do is when you talk to people, you want to know, did you owe taxes last year or did you get a refund? Once you ask that question, it will make you know if the person is owing money. If they are owing money, then you better ask them to pay you upfront. Otherwise, you're not going to get paid for doing the service to that person. So if you do taxes, say for Peter, or more man, you came for you to do taxes. Oh, he's getting a big refund, 6,727. What about in 2020? Did you get a refund? That's the first question you always ask. Did you get a refund or did you owe? If the person said, I owe, automatically you want to make sure that they pay you your money upfront. Because if they don't pay you your money upfront, we may not be able to collect it. But if they are not owing, if they tell you that, oh, Kevin, last year I got a refund, I got 5,000, it's okay. So you have a choice. You can get this 6,727 deposited into your bank account. But if you want us to take our filing fee, we can subtract the filing fee from your refund. Okay? They will say yes. But the other thing which I do is I always let them know. Sometimes because you want to get your money quick, there may be bank charges. So what I do is I try to be transparent. That's why I do my business. So some taxpayer will just take the money without telling the person. But I don't like surprises. The way I do business, I will tell them that, listen, this is what you're supposed to get. Maybe you're going to pay me $200 for preparing your tax. But if you pay me upfront, you are fine. This is what you get. But if you don't pay me upfront, I will ask the bank we work with to take my fee out. Then the bank too will charge a fee, which depends on how much you are getting back and how quick you want your money. So sometimes some people will be like, okay, I did not know this. I don't like people to tell me I did not know this. I always make sure I tell them upfront. They agree before I do anything. Otherwise, you'll be generating negative publicity for yourself that you don't need. So once you do that, you've really come to the end. Then sometimes somebody will tell you that, oh, I want some of my refund to be applied for estimated tax. And next year, I'm not going to have a W-2. I'm working now as a contractor. So I want half of this 3,000 to go towards my taxes next year. You put the amount you want, say 3,000, then the amount will go in there. But most people will get all their money.
So hold that. That will be the IRS will hold that.
Yes. If you want any amount to be applied to your 2022 estimated tax, say 3,000, you type 3,000 here. You type 3,000 here. Then when you do that, they will get a less amount. They will subtract 3,000 from this 6,727. But if the person were owing, instead of getting a refund, they're owing, the amount they owe will come on line 37. It will owing.
So brother, so you who is filing at that time, are they going to let you know, or the software will make you know that they are owing this amount for last year?
No, the amount you see the amount. Okay, in this case now we saw that he paid 15,000. Okay, let's say if he did not pay anything here, if he did not pay, okay, let's just say if he did not pay 15,000 and he did not pay this 1,000, then he'll be owing.
He'll be owing about 9,000 something.
Exactly. So if he did not pay this money in advance, when we look at these taxes, he is getting money back because he overpaid a lot in taxes. But let's say, for example, he paid only 5,000, or he paid just like 2,000 for federal tax. In that case, he'll be owing. Then the amount that he owes will appear on line 37.
Okay, I see that. Yeah.
Then, after that, do you want to allow another person to discuss this return with the IRS? The person can say yes. Okay. Then you will have a PTIN. Your PTIN will go in here. Okay, your information will go in here.
Okay.
Then your phone number will go in there. Your phone number will go in there. Then your PTIN will go here. Okay. Your PTIN will go there. Then normally the person will not sign because it's electronic. But if you have, one second, let me see who is calling.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, this is Maddie on a recorded.
Yeah. So usually, if you print the form, the person can even sign here. Okay. The person can sign here. Then sometimes, if the person has been a victim of identity theft, they may require a PIN before we can file electronically for them. So when the person comes to you, if they had a problem filing their taxes before because somebody attempted to steal their identity, they will give them a PIN, and that PIN needs to appear here. If they are filing with their spouse, the spouse PIN too will appear. Then you need to ask the person, what's your occupation? For example, he can say, I'm an engineer. Okay. He'll put his occupation. Then if he's supposed to have a PIN, then once we print the form, the date will appear here. Then the number for
phone number
for the taxpayer will appear here, because when you're filing their tax, you ask them for all that information, their phone number, their email address, so that when you are done, you can email them their stuff.
Yeah.
Then our company information will appear here. Ayuk Tax Service.
Okay.
It will appear here. No. Here. Because you will be the preparer. So your preparer number will show up there. Okay. Then our company information will show there. Then we're going to make you get a PTIN number. It will appear here. Then you check self-employed. You see that?
Okay.
So then our phone number will appear here. Then our EIN number will appear here. Okay. So basically, this is a good sample. So basically, once we do this, then we're done.
Okay.
So once we do this, then we're done. So this is a sample of the return, which you're going to go through. A whole lot. You spend some time going through it.
Yeah.
I will save it. Okay. Yeah, so I've saved it. I'm going to send you a sample of the form also.
Okay.
So basically, this is a sample of the return. So I think what if you have any questions, you can ask.
Yeah.
Then at least this, I'm going to send you a copy of this form, so that way you can take the day now and go back and look at the form yourself.
Yeah. I think I might. What I was just thinking that okay, I might go to one of my old W-2. I will not use my actual social security, but I'll use the figures there.
Yes.
To see if to do some work on.
Yes. And then you remember you have to go to the tax table. The tax table, there's an income credit table, then there's a tax table. Don't confuse the two. If you go to the
tax.
If you go to the income credit table, then you'll see it right there.
Well, this video will be a guide to me anyway.
Exactly. So when we are done now, I will send a copy of the video to you, and you also share it with Ernestine.
Yes, we will. Yeah, I'll use that when we go through this video again. Then I'll go try to see if I can get one of my old W-2. Then we'll see if we can prepare one of the taxes.
Just know that the tax year, if the tax year is different, you may not get the same figures.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's just to
so that you are better off using your current W-2. You are better off using your W-2 for 2021, but you don't put your social.
Okay.
You can just use a dummy social like we've done, but you use the real figures. Just like you can just try to redo your own return.
Okay.
You can just try to redo your own return by hand the way we've done it here.
Okay.
Yeah, like today I'm working from home, so if you have time to do it, you can always call me. I can go through it with you.
Okay.
If today you are busy, no problem.
Yeah, I don't have access to work information from home, so if I have to get that.
I thought that you sent me a copy of your W-2.
No, not the current one. The one that we had was the one that they did for last year. I mean, like the one that we are going to do it for this 2022 is not yet out, right?
No, it's not yet out. So you should only go back to 2021. The one that you sent
so you want you are saying that we should do this 2021 again?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Because 2022 is not going to be ready until the end of the year.
Okay, yeah.
So you want to take a copy of like what you sent to me already and try to redo it and see how far you can go.
Yes.
So which means don't put your social, but just take the numbers. See, I want to see if you can prepare your own return manually.
Okay.
Because if you look at your own return, I can go through, you see exactly, let's see.
Let me see.
Okay, so this is your own return. So you can see exactly what happened on your own return. So you had line 1, okay? Then standard deduction, you got 18,800 because you're filing as head of household. Then you also got charitable credit of $300. Okay. So your return is even simpler than what it's even simpler than what we've done already, as you can see.
Okay.
So if you look at this is your own return. So you can the first thing I would do is you just go to your own return, look at, see how it was done, then just get a blank form and try to redo it.
Okay.
There you see. Okay, your own return is even simpler than the example that we did today. If you look at with what we've done today, I'll be surprised if you don't succeed in preparing your own return. The only issue is you have to know how to get the tax. Okay, so for example, I can help you with that right now because I know that that's the only area you may be stuck. Okay, you see, for example, your own return, the tax is 1,038, right? The tax that you're paying is 1,038. How did they get it? They got it
from a W-2.
Yeah, because your taxable income is 10,361. That's your taxable income. So we'll go now to the tax booklet. Then we'll start going down. 10,361. Because remember, you are head of household. So the number will have to be the last digit, okay?
The last row.
Yes, exactly. So let's do this. 10,361.
So right this way.
So that's 10,360, 10,350, and 10,400.
That's it. I see 1,038. 1,038.
Exactly. So you see, that's how the guy got it. You see that?
Yeah, 1,038.
Exactly. So that's the only thing. So you can see now that now you should be able to prepare your own return because your own return is even easier than what we did today. So the only area where I know you got caught up is how to get the tax. But you just come to the table. You look at what we just did.
1,038. Okay.
Let's see. You file as head of household, right?
Yes.
You file as head of household, so it should be the last column.
Yeah, but remember, it's single.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, single. Okay. I'm happy you reminded me. Okay.
So this way. 10,000. So it should be around here. Yeah. Yeah, that's it right there.
Okay. You file as head of household. I said you file as head of household, so it's not single.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So you file, so that's why. So the filing is correct.
Okay.
So for head of household is 1038.
Okay.
Single it would have been higher.
Okay.
So you file as head of household. You can see it at the top.
Yeah.
Because you have a
dependent.
You have somebody you're claiming. You have a qualifying person who is divine this on. So as you can see, your own return is even a little simpler than everything we've done today.
Okay.
So I would just say, just complete your own with a dummy name, with a dummy social. And then once you do it, you can scan it and you can even review it yourself and see whether you did it correctly. You'll be able to see it yourself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm confident you'll get it done correctly.
Yeah, yeah. Just when you send the video, what we do.
I'm going to send a video
so that
I'm going to send a video so that at least you'll be able to watch it and see what we've done. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I think right now it's clicking.
Yeah. So you can see now that at least you're not going to go back to that lady to prepare your tax. You can prepare your own tax from what you've seen.
Yeah.
You can prepare your own tax. So next week, once we download the program, we'll just try to see how we can prepare Ernestine's own tax, but without using her real information. Okay. We will not use her social. We'll just come with a dummy name, then take her information and prepare her own tax. So that once you prepare her own tax, then you see next week that at least you've learned to prepare your wife's taxes and your own taxes. Then you will just be adding to your knowledge.
Okay.
So that my goal is immediately after Thanksgiving, we'll start working on the marketing.
Okay.
Because now you can see that if you start talking to people that you want to do their taxes, a few questions that they ask you, they will make a lot more sense to you.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So thank you very much and enjoy your day. I'm going to send you the video.
All right. Thank you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.